Let's move on to the album review. So for this week, the album that we are going to be discussing is the brand new album by Lady Gaga, Mayhem. Mayhem is the sixth studio album by American singer Lady Gaga. It was released on March 7th, 2025. Eric, your thoughts on this album?
So, um, I mean, I actually didn't hate it. I thought,
Well,
I honestly
great start.
thought,
Great start.
yeah, I honestly thought it was gonna be like her like old stuff, or like previous stuff we've reviewed from her.
Okay.
Um, and it wasn't like annoying dance club music, like pop 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 poker face pop pop,
Yeah.
like which is annoying.
Uh-huh.
When the first song "Disease," I thought that song was sick. I was
Yeah.
like, wow, she's actually going like a little bit dark here,
Mm-hmm.
and it was almost like she matured as a pop artist,
Mm-hmm.
which was nice to see. I thought then I was like, if this album sounds like this song, I'm gonna give this a high review for sure
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because it sounds sick. It has
Yep.
this like dark, ominous tone to it. And then Abracadabra came out, like was the next one, and I was like, okay, this is a typical Lady Gaga song, like
Yep.
Abracadabra, oh na na, like
Yeah.
she just says like nonsense syllables that you're
Yeah.
just like, okay,
It's part of her
that's
signature. It's so funny that she like keeps doing that.
it. Definitely is in her shtick. So I was like, I tried to put myself like, okay, this is hard. This is Lady Gaga.
Yep.
Um, what was interesting is some of the songs sounded very um like for instance Killa,
Mm.
it sounded like Fame by David Bowie,
Oh. No, that's a good point. I didn't think about
because
that.
that
Yeah.
guitar
Yeah, yeah.
bam, bam, da, 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 da.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like I've heard this before, and I was walking today listening to it with the dogs and Rosie, and I'm like, that's it's Fame by David Bowie, pretty much. So
Interesting. I'm gonna look up if there is a sample or anything because I didn't think about that.
which is I'd be intrigued to see if that was the case, or if she was just trying to pass it off as her. There were a couple songs on here, such as "How Bad Do You Want Me," which is track 9, which I believe was one of the singles on the album. It had like this Taylor Swift vibe to the lyrics. It was
Mm-hmm.
almost like she was trying to pull from like Taylor Swift kind of influence.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounded like it was mixed with another 80s song, which I couldn't place my finger on. I was like,
Mm.
I've heard this before too. So it'll probably come to me later in the week.
So
But
going back to Killa,
yeah.
she specifically, I don't believe stated this, but Rolling Stone magazine stated that Killa is a David Bowie esque song.
Oh damn! Look at that. I might as well get hired with Rolling Stone
Yeah,
then. Wow.
that's so
Okay.
funny. That's hilarious. But yeah,
um
I don't see any samples or anything, but I think there is definitely some sort of influence there.
100%. Like if you go listen to the song now, you're gonna be like, this is totally Fame by David Bowie. Um, but yeah, like I was saying, how bad do you want me? It just sounded like a kind of this album definitely gave me like I was like liking it, and then I didn't like it, then I liked it, then I didn't like it kind of vibe. And
Mhm.
this song specifically, because I was like, oh, you're just doing what every other pop artist is doing, copying like the Taylor Swift kind of thing.
Mm,
And it was just it was annoying, but then it redeemed itself again at the end. So it's like it kind of takes this roller coaster for me
interesting.
of emotions with this
W-
album.
Why did you like the end? I'm so interested to know why you think the end, or you like the
I
end
I
more
mean,
than the middle.
so previous to her other stuff, and a lot of this is I'm comparing to her other albums we've reviewed on here,
Mm.
and other hits I've heard on the radio from hers. Um, it seems like she incorporated a lot more like band instruments.
Mm.
Like there was
Mhm.
some funky bass going around in some of the songs, which I quite dug,
Mhm.
and it was very like It was almost like this funky disco kind of style to her songs.
Yep.
I did like because like I do like Bruno Mars. I think he does have some hits. He
Yes,
does have
yes,
some
yes, yes,
hits
yes, yeah.
that you're just like, this guy is funky as hell. And I thought it was an interesting way to end the album. But
Die with a Smile,
I
the Bruno Mars collaboration.
yeah, Die with a
Interesting.
Smile, Bruno Mars collaboration. However, I did like the darker songs on this album a lot more,
Hmm.
and I thought if she made this album like that, I would have probably given this a 9 out of 10.
Wow. Okay.
But
Okay.
I'm not
Interesting.
holding my breath here.
Going back to Die with a Smile, because I'm surprised you actually like that song. When it came on, like I was listening to it from front to back, and then the last song comes on, Die with a Smile. I was like, this is real boring. This is like real boring to listen to as the final track. And I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, that's Bruno Mars, the Beige Prince.
I could so yeah, you could tell it's him just by his voice because he does that like like like,
Yeah.
it's just like that
Yeah.
typical Bruno Mars ballad
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
like sound holding the note. Now I did like the song, but I don't think it was a good end for the album. Like I don't
Yes.
think
Yeah.
this Sean should have been the ending
Yeah.
of the album.
I was so let down that this was the closer. I was like, this sounds like a bonus track to me. Like this is not how you
Yes.
close an album.
Mhm.
It was a huge letdown for me, that song specifically. But even like by itself, I don't know. I've heard it on the radio, and then like I don't know, they play it on country radio sometimes, and like what the hell is this do?
Country radio.
Yeah.
What?
I'm like, what the hell is this doing here? Because I think it hit number 18 on the country charts at some point in
Okay.
America. And like even the music video, they're like dressed in cowboy hats and stuff like that. So they're just like really pushing hard for the country.
It sounds like anybody can go country
I
now,
know, it's crazy.
you know?
But like I never liked the song, and I was so surprised that this was the closer of the album. I was like, whatever. This is sort of a letdown.
Like,
Um,
I would have been happy with a Blade of Grass being the ending of the album.
yes. I have one complaint about Blade of Grass though. Um, to me, when I listen to Blade of Grass, the chorus, it sounds so much like Bad Romance by Lady Gaga that
Interesting.
every time I heard the chorus, I just replaced all the words with the lyrics from Bad Romance. I was like I can't pay attention to the song anymore.
That is amazing.
It's just too close. It was melodically and structurally, it was way too close to
Mm,
like her hit song. I'm like, oh, you guys should have done something different here. It's like it's
mhm.
clashing too much. Um, I thought it was a good song, but I couldn't get it out of my head. To the point when like even when the song ended, I had Bad Romance stuck in my head as an earworm. And like this is not good. I'm supposed to have Blade of Grass stuck in my head, not a different song.
Mhm.
I do agree with you. The album is much darker than what we're sort of used to from Lady Gaga specifically, but like pop music in general. Like Disease, the opener, that was great.
Mhm.
My favorite song on this album is Perfect Celebrity. I thought that was just
That was a
like
cool song.
that's when I really woke up on this album. I was like, okay, this is
Mhm.
all pretty good. And Perfect Celebrity, I was like, what was that? What
I
is what's going on here?
And that's what I'm talking about with the roller coaster,
Yeah.
right? Like it starts off and it was just like, "Woo!" and it was just all over the place, I found.
Yeah.
But, yes, that was also a sick song too.
Yeah.
Um, like, you could definitely tell it is out of that club vibe to more of, like, it still has that pop kind of dance vibe
Yeah. A little bit of
to her
disco-y.
songs,
Yeah.
but it's more like it's like the lyrics are well put together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Way more so than anything else she's come out with.
Yeah. 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 Like the lyrics in Perfect Celebrity, I think is so like fitting because she's been a celebrity for so long, and she's talking about all these like vices and stuff that come with the
Mhm,
fame. It's like this is like I get this. I understand what you're trying to convey, the message that you're trying to say
mhm.
here. So I was like, this is pretty good. Even like Zombie Boy, I was like, oh, these lyrics are hilarious. Like I like this. But yeah, the album is a lot darker than what we're used to, but it is poppy. It's catchy. I
Mhm.
just as I went along with this album, I just found a lot of it to be samey. Like the first half
Mhm.
ish, the first third of the album, I was like, okay, there's interesting stuff happening here. And then as I kept going to the end, I was just like, okay, I've heard this in this album before. Like this is
Mhm.
all just repeating. I'm gonna file a class action lawsuit.
Yeah, God forbid Tool fans listen to this album. They're
Yeah,
gonna be suing Lady Gaga from every angle.
and not to say that the songs are bad on the second
Mhm.
half. It's just like, okay, I've like we're sort of repeating the same territory at this
Mhm.
point. Like we could have probably cut a lot of these songs out, and then it just
Mhm.
ends with "Die with a Smile," and I'm just like, I'm done with this. I can't listen to this album anymore. So like I don't know, I'm a bit torn because like I do like specific parts, as you said, the roller
Mhm.
coaster of the album, but eventually it just all sort of blurred together for me.
Mhm. I 100% agree.
All right, Eric. Final thoughts and ratings. What are you gonna give this one?
So I'm gonna give this a 6 out of 10.
Oh,
And
okay.
the reason is because again, like I didn't hate this album. There's definitely like stuff that they could have done. Like they could have added like I do agree with you now that you say like Die with a Smile. As much as I thought it was, I didn't mind the song, but it would be on like an extended version of the album, like the
Yeah.
deluxe
Yeah.
album of
Mhm.
Mayhem.
Mhm.
And then it would be like, oh, that's a cool little Easter egg
Yep.
kind of thing. But I do respect how she's come as an artist and how she's kind of transitioned to this like new age. This is definitely like a new age of Lady Gaga
Mm.
that nobody has seen before. So I mean, if you made songs like Disease, because that's my favorite on the album,
Mhm.
like this album would have been sick.
Yeah. Yeah. No, totally agree. I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna. I agree with you. I'm gonna give it a 6. Also, there are songs like "Perfect Celebrity" and "Disease" that I think I will like keep in my rotation for quite a while. But
Mhm,
like after some of those other songs, like I'm not. There's no reason for me to listen to this album
mhm,
from front to back or even specific like all the songs. So I think I'm gonna give it a 6 because I think it's a good-ish album. It's just there's too many boring parts to it.
mhm,
But I do like the direction of it. Like as you said,
mhm.
if she makes an album that's just Disease in terms of style, like man, that'd be pretty cool.
It'd be sick.
Yeah. All right, perfect. So that was our discussion on Mayhem, the brand new album by Lady Gaga. For those of you who are following along with us every single week, I really hope I get the name of this album correct. But the album for next week that we are going to be talking about is the brand new Coheed and Cambria album. It is called Vaxis Act 3, The Father of Make Believe is the album.
Ooh, Coheed and Cambria. I didn't know they were still around.
So I believe this is a trilogy. I don't know if they have anything planned after this, but this is the third album in the set. But this is the brand new one that came out. So we'll be discussing this one next week on the podcast. So that is it for this week on the Crossroads Music Podcast. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We're here at twitch.tv/the Crossroads Music Podcast live at 10 p.m. ET, 7 p.m. PT. Listen to us on Apple Music, Spotify, all the places where you get your podcasts. I think that's it for this week. Eric, any closing thoughts?
So, I mean, live long and prosper, friends.
And tequila.
Yeah. Tequila. Da 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 da.